Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got ArthurCloud rocking the FC against Herald's Chaos Sorcerer. And it's another one of them sandy maps, because honestly, every replay I get sent now, it's on a sandy map. It's Calderis Desert, it's Calderis Refinery, or it's Civil Frontier. Why are there so many sandy 1v1 maps? Anyway, it is a Saturday, so let's not expect too much out of our boys here. So we're not watching top tier gameplay because it's Saturdays. You know, we like to watch mid tier or even maybe low tier gameplay. But so far so good. Nothing particularly odd. We'll keenly watch the requisition of ArthurCloud. So he's at 125 now, and he should be noding that power at any second, unless he wants to actually node this quickly. No, he knows his base one. That's good. Not much of a delay there. Was a little bit of a delay, Arthur. Not too bad though. I'm going to kite the heretics on the far side. See, this is the advantage of the melee units, that you can just A-move them into scouts, and the scouts have to keep being micro, turning around to turn back, whereas you don't have to do fuck all with heretics. Literally just A-move and you win. So the Doom Bolts was actually missed on the tax, and that was kind of a big deal, because if those Doom Bolts hit those tax, there's no way they would have been able to force off the CSM there in melee. But to be honest, it kind of worked out. I was going to say it kind of worked out for Herald, but not if he loses his Chaos Sorcerer, but actually consuming his Heretic there. Now this is a dodgy fight against the Force Commander. It looks like the FC's super low, but the problem is that the Heretics are losing models. Doom Blasting wouldn't help. Doom Blasting there probably meant that they lost the Tick Squad, so that was a huge mistake. Also, a micro mishap here from Herald. He chooses to not move his Heretics in order to cap the point. So he caught the point, but he lost 6 Heretics to do so, and now there's loads of time for Arthur's scouts to go capping. And let's face it, in the time that it takes for these Heretics to heal and get back over here, Arthur will have gained more than one point, so that's not worth it. I know it's annoying chasing after scouts with your heretics because you can't actually catch them if they're microed correctly, but to neutralize both units and to prevent them from both capping is a win for the heretics. Far better than what we just seen there. So overall, pretty bad start for Herald. He's gone for Havocs now, and he's up against triple scouts, which concerns me, because whether the scouts go for grenades and infiltration or whether they go for snipers, either way they're going to be able to counter Havocs pretty damn well. Now, the good thing for Herald is he is the sorcerer, so snipers should be less of a threat. He can counter them pretty easily using his Flame Sword teleport. He can also use Sigil of the Rift to get heretics in retreat path. So snipers are less scary if you're the sorcerer compared to, let's say, Plague Champion or something. But it's still going to counter the Havocs, right? And the meta these days anyway is just to spam shotgun and grenade scouts, which also are pretty decent against Havocs. Oh, beautiful special attack there from the Force Commander, proccing his battle cry. Sent basically everything flying. Heretics are going to get into melee. Yeah, that's a good Doom Blast. That's a great Doom Blast. Pins the opponent in place to follow up with the Havoc fire, and that's that force routed. Now Arthur should have seen what was going on there with the Havoc and sent the FC after the Havoc straight away. But he needed to split up his range troops as well, so one Doom Blast didn't suppress them all. Only suppressed one. And clearly Arthur has made an unfortunate Overwatch mistake. So he hasn't dropped down his gens because he's dropped 210 requisition into an unnecessary 4th scout squad. There's no way that can be intentional. There's no way. So he should have a full gen farm right now, but that mistake is preventing that. And of course Herald does have a full gen farm, so this is where things can get a little bit awkward for Arthur. Oh, and he does want snipers as well. So this is really annoying because all these upgrades are super expensive in power. He's already spent 50 on the snipers, so he's spending 75 power on sniper rifles with no gens. That's a problem. This is going to delay his tier 2 like crazy, because he doesn't even have a power income coming in right now. Not a proper one. Adding power generator. Don't mind me, guys, I'm just eating mid-cast. Yeah, I'm actually on a bit of a recording marathon at the moment. I'm going to do 5 hours of recording because I'm a little bit behind and struggling to find the time on other days where there's no craziness running around. Which is mostly the pub. You get a bit of respite, you got to use it. But this is looking like a beautiful engagement here for Arthur. The triple sniper certainly has a lot of power, but what is Herald doing? Where's the money going? So he has the Sword of Flame, but he doesn't have any teleportation armor, so that's a problem. I'm wondering if Herald is actually going to get the Raptors. Yeah, I mean, he says it's evil, but to be honest, he kind of set himself up for it, right? He went blind Havocs into triple scouts, and then it ended up being even worse. He got triple snipers. Yeah, it was an accident, yeah. But I like how Arthur's just owning the 4 scouts and has literally upgraded them all. He's like, fuck it. I probably would not have done that. But hey, those triple snipers rip through those CSM and Havocs very quickly. Not quite as effective against the Heretics, just because they've got so many bloody models. But we'll see. They're doing okay so far. Now Herald should be getting to tier 2 fairly soon. He's easily got the wreck, just waiting on a little bit of power. How far behind is Arthur? Yeah, fair bit. I think... I don't know actually. The James might have been up for a little bit, but obviously they won't have been up for that long. And it really is delaying the tech. And yeah, you see the power of the SE ticks here, just force off triple snipers. Just think at how much investment is here. You've got like 900 requisition and 75 power getting forced off by 1 AC tick. Not ideal, really. Bit of unnecessary shotgun blast there. I think the scouts just forcing melee on the Havocs would have been fine, whilst you force off these guys and then can move on. Sloppy from Herald there, a little bit of a slow reaction. I guess he's looking over here, maybe? I don't know what he's looking at. But he did opt for the Raptors, which has delayed Herald's tier 2. So actually, Arthur is now floating. So Arthur can hilariously get to tier 2 before Herald, which honestly is quite something. I don't really know why that is, to be honest. It doesn't seem right. Does have Eternal War. Probably not that necessary to get Eternal War. CSM, honestly, they've done fuck all this game. They've not done anything. Now this is really awkward for the Raptors. They gotta get out. Yeah, oh my god. So lucky that all 3 snipers chosen to shoot at different models there. That really should have been a dead Raptor, but still they're gonna be in base healing for ages now. Doom boss will be okay. Yeah, unfortunately there's no follow-up and they're right next to the base, so it's not really a big deal. And this, yeah, it's just a failed gem bash. Honestly, that was not very smart. I don't know why he tried to go for that. With that many range units just sitting in the base ready to support, like, it's not worth it. Even if you did bash a couple of gens, you would take so much bleed in doing so that it's not really worth it. Better to just go cap the map. You know, all this side of the map's still Arthur's.
Readying teleporter.
These Havocs I really think are one of the worst choices that Herald's made here. I understand going for the Havocs when you're playing as the Sorcerer, because obviously the FC just bullies the Sorcerer 1v1. You don't have a lot of range DPS because you're Chaos like range DPS, so you struggle to kill the Force Commander, so you want to get Havocs to control him. But when you just get them blind, you really do facilitate them doing this bullshit with infiltrating grenades and snipers, and it's a problem. The Raptors seem to come out super late for Herald, and I must admit I don't understand why he doesn't have the teleporting armor for the Sorcerer. Against triple snipers, that seems like a no-brainer upgrade. This whole thing would be so much worse if he was playing as the Plague Champion.
Understood. The Codex Astartes guides us to victory.
I mean, ironically, the Chaos Sorcerer is probably one of the best heroes in killing snipers. Oh, I'm just gonna say, he's gonna get snipes. I didn't even get time to finish it. And that Sorcerer is going down. Heretics now bleeding a few models. Oh wow, they actually killed a TAC Marine? That was kind of lucky. Looking at the HP. Lost a lot of Heretics for it though. Well, only 4. It's totally worth it. Now, if the Herald didn't lose his other Heretic squad, he could have made them Grenade Launcher Heretics, and GL Ticks with the Aspiring Champion, they are amazing versus snipers. You've seen how tanky these guys are anyway against snipers? Well, it's great when you can actually just kill the snipers at range with your GL Ticks. And remember that Grenade Launchers, they actually have 44 range, so it's higher than the standard small arms range, so it actually helps with shutting down these snipers pretty effectively. Havoc's just going to get forced off. Okay, maybe not. He's going to shoot at the CSM, which obviously is a mistake from Arthur, because now that means his Force Commander, yeah, just gets wrecked by the Havoc. Definitely should have been shooting at the Havoc. That said, well, I was going to say he wouldn't have forced off the entire squad, but if he killed the lead model, then the rear ones would have to set up themselves, and then you'd reload and you'd kill him, yeah. That could have gone a lot better for Arthur. That was about as bad as it could have gone. I mean, a sound rout of him there from the Herald. Do you see some stern guards on the field now? And we see a Chaos Dreadnought to match it from Herald. I mean, honestly, looking at Herald's army right now, I think I prefer Herald's army. As oppressive as scouts can be in Tier 1, they don't scale. And I mean that quite literally. Like, they have no upgrades whatsoever in Tier 2, so that they're as strong as they get in Tier 1. So now, as the game drags on, those scouts are going to lose a lot of their utility. You know, their only scaling is their level ups. So let's see, the only AV on the field right now is the Stern Guard. It is a bit scary to melee them with the Dreadnought just because the Force Commander's here, yep, and because the Force Commander could be getting the Power Fist, which he is. And this is actually now quite a spooky situation because he has used Flesh Over Steel on the Chaos Dreadnought. Hopefully the Havoc can come in and do good damage. Where is the Sorcerer? The Sorcerer is mid, so could potentially teleport the Dreadnought away. Ooh, what a play! That was a ballsy play, Herald, wow. So rather than teleporting the Dreadnought away and using that to escape the Power Fist Force Commander, he uses the summoning ability to tie up the Stern Guard and takes the risky play and outmelees the FC, and he only just gets away with it. Very risky play, but it worked, so well done. Got the kill on the FC. Now I believe that there were like triple scouts all capping in the mid there. Only one of them needed to cap. The other two should have been sniping that Havoc again, supporting the FC. That's just micro things.
There lies the key to victory.
No doubt Arthur would have been watching his scouts down there whilst also moving the capping units here and also watching his FC to try and gauge whether or not the FC was going to win that fight against the Dreadnought. But that's another play that he could have made. He could have dropped in drop pod tax onto the Havocs. And he does that, and he would probably kill the Dreadnought. You've got to bear in mind that he can teleport out the Dreadnought at any time. But, you know, the Sorcerer's here, so the Stern Guard can just turn around and finish him off even if he does teleport. Now we're going to see a Khorne Dreadnought though. And I don't think the Power Fist Force Commander is going to want anything to do with this thing anymore. Ah yes, he forgot about the Shotgun Scouts then. See, this was the problem. Nice lucky sniper shots there, all 3 models hitting one Raptor, that's a dead Raptor. No energy for a jump on the Raptors, so they can't really do too much. Feels bad. This is a bit of an awkward engagement for the Chaos Dreadnought, fighting 2 mobile AV units. Okay, he's just going to commit to the base. Right, Heretics need to go just decap the power whilst this Dreadnought is wasting time. And then obviously you can teleport the Dreadnought out to here. Okay, I don't know why the Heretics are still trying to repair the Dreadnought. That's obviously a micro error from Herald, he's not realised. This would actually have been a perfect opportunity for the Heretics to decap the power. Because look how much time this Dreadnought is stalling for. He'd have definitely have decapped it. Might even have enough time to fully cap it. Unfortunately, yeah, Forgetting about the heretics for too long, they're going to wipe. And that's sad. They were nearly level 3. And now he's got no repairs as well. Damn, this is a game of throws. Really good economy for Herald though, jeez. Over 550 requisition and 130 power for him, so he's doing pretty good. Fully upgrades the Marines, which I don't really think that's worth it. That's a lot of investment, but what are they really killing? You know, they can kill the tax and the Stern Guard, I guess. I guess there's two Space Marine squads that aren't scouts now, so 2 relatively tanky heavy infantry troops, so I guess maybe. But if you want to use them to counter that, what you should do, you need to make sure the CSM always go with the Dreadnought, because you know that both of the things that these guys counter best, because these guys are specialists in killing heavy infantry, right? Both the things that these guys counter best are going to be used to kill the K-Dread, so you should always send the CSM with the K-Dread. And then you can use things like the Raptors, or the Flamesword Teleporting Sorcerer. Still no Teleport Armor on the Sorcerer, which is so strange, because those 2 units would be a great tool to try and counter the Sniper Scouts. Another dead Raptor, and he's got to get out of there. You see, they only suppressed 2 of the Scouts there, and they didn't get the full vroom vroom vroom, so they didn't... the suppression kind of just worn off very quickly. And Herald is pushed really far back, taking ages to repair his Dreadnought at the moment, because obviously he's only got 1 heretic to do so. The Calm Dreadnought's pretty damn tanky with that 1200 HP, 10 HP per second. Yeah, it's going to take some time to actually repair that thing. Okay, so TCSM engaging with the 2 attacks there, but it was kind of a fucked up engagement. I feel like they ran forward way too far, so they were missing half their shots because you only have 50% accuracy while moving. They kind of walked into the Force Commander as well, but he just teleported onto the Havocs anyhow. So I think what's happening here, to be honest, is mental capitulation from Herald. Compositionally, I think he's fine. Like, once again, he's not really macroing anything. Maybe just moving the CSM, and he walked the heretics right into the enemy forces. Now the Raptors should save their energy to jump on the snipers, which is good. They do. Doesn't get greedy trying to jump the AV units. And CSM have gone down the side, which I guess in this instance is fine. Oh, we lost his Force Commander again, did Arthur? Oh, that's bad. Now VPs are getting precariously low for Herald, only 80 VPs left for him. Arthur's going to keep the pressure on, going for the ASM, and in spite of Herald having super low VPs, he's actually choosing to go tier 3, which is interesting. I don't think that is actually necessarily a bad idea, but it's certainly risky. He's playing a very risky game here. I find it odd how the Raptors chose to prioritize bashing the contested node instead of capping the mid VP. Oh, they're just going to cap it, they need to retreat. Wow! Even with a retreat, they managed to kill one of those CSM. These snipers have been brutal. Bloody snipers. Reinforcing off the drop pod as well, hilarious. So I wonder what Herald wants. I wonder if he wants Terminators. I feel like Terminators could be pretty damn good. Snipers do actually do a lot of damage to Terminators, but obviously Terminators can kill them very, very quickly. Man, this is a lot of AV on the field right now. Melter Bomb going in on the Con Dreadnought as well. I feel like the Con Dreadnought should just turn around and kill the ASM. Wait, what? What was that ASM jump? Oh wow, Raptors nearly wiping the missile attacks, but not quite. Probably going to be a wipe on the ASM here. That was an awful jump from Arthur there on the ASM, and Blood Rage is used again on the Con Dreadnought, and the FC gets wrecked. Yeah, I mean, you really don't want to be meleeing a Con Dreadnought. Don't know if you guys knew that, but you don't want to melee a Con Dreadnought, and you also don't want to jump in front of Havocs rather than on top of their head. So that was a very poorly managed engagement from Arthur. yeah, he is aware of it. And now he is kind of thrown his little advantage that he had there. You know, he had a much bigger force than his opponent. What were all the scouts doing? Were all the scout snipers not even involved there? I think not. And now basically Herald just gets a tier 3 unit and he wins, right? I wouldn't get a Predator given how much AV is already on the field, but then again, you could. But then again, I guess if you were going to get a Predator and try and overwhelm the enemy's AV, you'd have been better off just staying in tier 2 and going for more Dreadnoughts, right? So I think Terminators are the call here. Obviously you could go for a super unit. I think that's a bit ridiculous when you only have 65 VPs. And also the opponent only has 110 VPs. Like, this game is coming to a close. You want units out right now to make sure the enemy can't push you back out.
100 points remaining.
Yeah, I don't see how Arthur can win this. Arthur needs to be getting some infiltration upgrades on one of these snipers and constantly harassing this natural. Kind of a shame that he lost his shotgun scouts over here. Obviously they would be doing that job right now. And that would be mitigating at least a little bit of the pressure so it wasn't a 3-0 cap. But yeah, he's not doing that, and even if he catches this VP, it should be very easy for Herald to hold this mid VP, I think. Might even want to consider dropping down some shrines. I mean, honestly, I don't really know what Herald is doing. Oh, I see. He's waiting for Terminators. He doesn't have the red. You need 350 red and he only has 316. Well, in that case, fuck it. Just start dropping shrines everywhere in the middle. We'll actually do very, very well against the snipers. Snipers take forever to kill shrines.
Reached level 4.
I think he might actually get the decap here in the mid, but yeah, he's forced off from this side. The snipers need to rotate and assist with that, but then again, there's nothing to kill the cage red, so yeah, one of them goes over to that side, take Herald's natural. I mean, Arthur is just delaying the inevitable here. I'm a little bit confused as to why Herald isn't sending the sorcerer to take this VP, or at least one of his units. Weird. Oh my god, if Arthur wins this, that's going to be absolutely ludicrous. CSM just coming back to the mid. Really a lack of awareness here from Herald to not expect that something would take his natural VP when the VPs are this low. Yeah, you see the power of the Siege CSM there. They don't even have their plasma gun from their AC, absolutely melting those Postern Guard. It's going to be a routed force. Yeah, and Arthur concedes. He doesn't have... Well, he doesn't have a lot. I mean, honestly, looking at this, slow reaction here from Herald. Imagine if he had split these snipers and he had infiltration. I mean, he totally had the time to finish the cap here. Obviously, Arthur didn't know that. He probably thought the CSM were going to come over and intercept him. But if he, you know, he had some units over here to protect this as well, it's not obviously a loss. Or you bring grenades over here, grenade these guys, delay the cap again. Space Marines are just cunts like that. Scouts are so good because they're so fast, so tanky with their regen when they're out of combat. Anyway, that is all for this one. That's your Saturday noob game, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did enjoy, please leave a comment and a like. We need to get the views up again. I don't know what's going on with the views. The views are driving me slightly mad. And if you want more exclusive content, then you know where to find it, guys. You got to go to the Patreon. And if you go onto the Patreon, you will get access to 10 videos as of the time that I uploaded this. 10 extra casts immediately. You're going to get new casts every 2 weeks that you are part of that Patreon. So that's something to consider. Thank you for tuning in, folks. It's your boy Torpid, signing out.